Good morning. Good morning. Today is gentle yoga. And remember, gentle yoga doesn't necessarily mean easy. It means we really challenge ourselves to bring that gentle perspective to our class, as we always do. But gentle is when we slow it down a little bit and really do it in a very loving way. So welcome. We're going to be using 2 blocks and a strap and a blanket. And I just want to take a moment here to settle into our breath. So good to see you guys here today. Those of you live, but also those of you who are coming in later for the recording. Just feel yourself in the moment, maybe looking around your room. Just really getting present here. Just welcoming yourself to your mat. Just feeling the way your body feels today. Maybe you're turning your head, maybe you're rolling your shoulders. So in my meditation this morning, I was pondering the I am, the Soham, Satnam. And as I was playing with that breath, I was feeling that sense that the inner is the outer and the outer is the inner. And so when we think of I am, and we go a little bit below it, we could feel that we are all not M, but connected. And that's kind of what I'm coming with today, is the sense that I am connected to you. You are connected to me. We are connected to other. There's just so much. And if there's anything that we've gotten from this virus right now, is this idea that we all are so connected. And when we come into that I amness, it's sort of separating us. And so today I'm just feeling the sense that I am all, we are so connected. And so I'm feeling very squishy with y'all today. So big hug to you guys. Feeling really connected. Okay, let's start. Finding yourself on the mat, allowing your breath to flow. Let's take a left hand on the heart if you're feminine, right hand on the heart if not. Then the other hand on your belly. And just start to breathe. Just start to breathe deeply into the body, into the front, into the back, into the sides. Really stretching out those lungs. Finding a comfortable position, a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. Inhale goes right into that exhale. That exhale goes right into the inhale. I am not the same as you. I am not different than you. I am together with you. I am not the same. I am not different. I am together. Everything I feel, you feel. that human experience. Just feel that sense of togetherness, that global togetherness. And as we settle into the mat today, we're going to do just a short meditation. So allow your arms to relax to the lap. And if you want to change the cross of your legs, change the cross of your legs. And I'd love for us to just lean back a little bit in our bodies, but also in our rushing to get to it. Let ourselves just sit back for a moment. Check in on that breath body, that it's an equal inhale and an equal exhale. And in the spirit of this global togetherness, that I am not the same, I am not different, but I am together, I am one, we are one. In that spirit, I'd love us to spend a minute, a little over a minute, pondering something in your life that maybe is a struggle. I'm not a Buddhist, but I do love a lot of the philosophy. And one of the meditations they do is the Tonglen meditation, where you are syncing up with others that are aligned with where you are. So think about something in your life that's a struggle. Maybe it is a marital issue. Maybe it is losing money with the COVID-19. Maybe it is anxiety. Maybe it is achy knees. Okay, something that's a little bit of a struggle for you, or a big struggle for you. And with your eyes closed, and without getting caught up in the victim mentality or the stories or the narratives of these aches and pains that we're pondering, but just label it. And for the next minute and a half, let's ponder everyone around the world who is also struggling in the exact same way as you. The other women or men in the world that are struggling with marital issues. Other people in the world who have lost their jobs or their steady income. Other women and men around the world who are trying to homeschool when they are not trained in it. Other people around the world, men and women who do not have full range of their physical capacities. Other people around the world, men and women who also struggle with diving below their anxiety or their chatter mind. This idea that we are one among many, one among many. We're not unique, we're not same, we are together. Let's spend a minute on that, please. So sync up with all the men and women around the world that are struggling with the same thing you're struggling with. Maybe over drinking, maybe overeating, maybe being too aggressive with ourselves, whatever it is. And we'll spend 1 minute, maybe a little bit more, just reminding ourselves that we are one among so many. 1 minute, please. For the next couple of breaths, simmer it down into what it is you need from this class today. What do you need from your tools, from your yoga practice? Connection, togetherness, compassion. What is it you need today? We'll take another 5 or 6 breaths, just anchoring into our mantras today, our missions, our intentions, our sankalpa. What do you need? Boil it into a 1 or 2 word phrase. Beautiful. When you have it, let's bring our hands into prayer, thumbs against the heart. Repeat to yourself this mantra, this 1 or 2 word phrase to yourself a couple of times. Really get it in that mind. And then when you're ready, let's drop the chin to your chest. Slowly open your eyes, see your fingertips. Remember the promise that you're making to yourself. And then gently relax the arms down. All right, we're going to take our legs out straight and we're going to take a block underneath our knees. You can take them up to the medium level or the low level. And some of you may not even want that at all. Okay, we just want to make sure that we're doing it and not overextending that knee. I thought we could play with the knees today. A lot of times we think of them as hinges, but they're not really hinges. And there's a lot of integrity with these ligaments and how easy it is for our knees to go out of line. So I want to play with this idea today. So here we are. I'm going to do it. Actually, you could also use a blanket roll. So you decide which one feels the best. Okay, we're going to take our hands on the inner knee and turn those toes towards the kneecap, fire it up, Dandasana, staff pose, and then pressing the inner knees down, put your hands there and see if you can feel that action, and then let it flop. And then engage and flop. 6 more times. Hello, knees. They work so hard. Haven't paid attention to them unless they ache. We want to give them some love today. About 3 more. 2. And now hold, hold, hold. 5 more breaths. Hold, hold, hold. 2. And relax. Good. Okay, so that's what we want to be focusing on today is this inner leg, and we want to double check that we are not overextending the knees. So you want to double check on that. Okay, come back into your easy cross-legged pose. We're going to put the left leg in front. Do you feel anything achy here in the inner knee? If you do, we're going to slide some blocks underneath your knees. Or you're going to sit up on a blanket and resist doing that posture. So we come into Baddha Konasana. So we want to feel that those inner knees feel very comfortable together. Okay, so pausing in a seated position here, come back to your calm and steady breaths. And we're just going to squeeze our wrist. So taking your right hand, squeeze your left wrist and scooch your arm, your hand up the arm. Just give yourself some love here. Hello, arm. Just squeeze that arm, wring it out all the way up. All the way up. What are we doing? We're just massaging our left arm, just moving stuff around, Turn it over. Don't let any part of that arm be missed. See if you can do this with lots of loving thoughts, no meanness. About 10 more seconds. Just every drop of this arm has a squish, a squishy arm. Good. And relax. Switch your, can you feel the tension in that right hand? I know I can. Shake it out. And then we'll switch. Left hand, squishing on those right wrists. Squish it through and move it up. And just pinch and pull and tug. Almost like you're turning over the soil in a garden. You're just squishing stuff around, stirring it up. Don't forget your hey baby. Hey baby. Don't forget your hey babies. Just really pinch and pull and tug. Just stir it up. Just really get in there. How's that feel? Hope it feels good. Again, if you're being really mean to your arm and saying mean things about it, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Good. And shake that out. Okay, taking your blocks away now, we're going to take ourselves over into hands and knees. And we're going to put our blanket underneath our knees so that we can have a little cushion because we're going to be really sweet with our knees. And we're going to talk about child's pose first of all. So for child's pose, a lot of us don't like to go all the way down with the knee this way. So that's why it's a good idea to tuck something underneath it. Maybe it would be a pillow. Maybe it would be 2 wash rags, 2 dish towels, something like that. So you're not going. That is an option also. Okay, so here we are. We're going to take our hands and knees pose, and we're just going to wiggle it out a little bit. We want to make sure that we have a nice amount of space between the back of our knees. So if that means you're going a little less into that bend, then please feel free to scoot yourself forward a little bit. And maybe lifting one knee at a time, seeing how it feels to sort of walk on those knees. Maybe you're straightening the knees. You've got about 5 more breaths just to play any way you want to with those knees. As we get older, some of us have crinkly knees. The cartilage gets all crinkly in there. Just notice what you're noticing here. And if you consider your knees to be bad knees, then maybe that's syncing up with there are other people who are working with their knee injuries as well. I'm not alone here. Compassion. All right, curling your toes under, take yourself up to your first downward dog, and let's check in on the alignment of those knees. So looking at your legs now, let's bend the right knee, noticing that the kneecap wants to stay right over that second, third toe. The shin bone and the thigh bone want to be perfectly lined up so that that knee is nice and safe. A lot of the knee injuries come in because of our inner leg not being as strong as our outer leg. So that's what we're going to play with today. Take your left knee bending and notice the second, third toe lining up again. Or maybe you're noticing it doesn't line up. That would be a really good awareness also. One more deep breath here. And then challenging yourself to come down either with a knee that you don't normally come down with first, or come down with both knees at the exact same time. Let's do that again. You ready? You ready? Okay, here we go. And downward dog. So you're walking the dog, you're bending the knee one at a time, and you're just watching the line of the leg. The knee staying right over that second, third toe. 2, and then challenging yourself on the dismount here. Are you coming down with the opposite than you normally do, or landing both at the same time? Beautiful. And
This next time, we're going to come to standing. So for those of you who are challenged by standing on the or by standing up from the floor, I want to show you how to get up. Those of you who know how to get up, then go ahead and do it. But those of you who want to play with this or maybe teach it to your parents, one of the ways to get off the floor is to find a way to bring that right knee or either leg forward so that you're in sort of a lunge with the knee down. Curl your back toes under, and instead of trying to go to the ceiling, which takes a lot out of us, let's see if we can try to make the movement forward. You go into like a sumo wrestler, and then you come to stand. So I'm going to do that again on the other side. If you're standing, go ahead and stand up. We take one leg forward. We curl the back toes under. Instead of trying to stand up to the ceiling, we're trying to step forward into like a sumo wrestler, and then up we go. Okay, very good. All right, we're going to take our blanket here and we're going to roll it up. I'll actually face you. Roll it up. And we're going to take our strap and we're going to put it on like we're putting on some pants. Scooch it right mid-thigh, nice and tight. And we're going to put our heels on the blanket. So the base of my toes, the ball mounds of my toes are on my mat. My heels and arches are on the blanket, and I've got this very tight strap around my mid-thigh. Okay? Now, I want to make sure that my hip bones are in the middle of my kneecaps, which are at my second and third toe line up. Double check that that's the alignment that you've got going on. Some of us have knock knees, some of us have the bow legs. So you might find that one leg does something different. That's what you're learning today, is you're learning about the way you're tracking. We're not the same, we're not different, we're just together, right? We're together learning. So here you are noticing whatever it is, hands in prayer. Now, making sure that your strap is tight enough that you're going to be able to feel this. If you start to lose it, if you start to kind of go into like a baseball catcher here where the knees open wide, that means your strap isn't tight enough. So you want it to be nice and tight. We're going to go into chair pose. So again, we're focusing on the inner leg here and seeing how strong we can be there. On the exhale, go ahead and sit down into chair pose and try to break open that strap and smile. 5. What do you need from class today? Get it in your mind. 3. Gentle approach in this very dynamic pose. 2. And up we go. Turn to the left, head to the right, back and forth. Second round. Ready? Utkatasana. Go ahead and sit down. Still on the blanket. Sit down. Your toes are on the floor, but your arches and heels are up, and you're trying to bust open that strap. Are you keeping your leg lines, the hip, cap, ankles? Imagine how heavy the thighs are, and you're trying to touch the ceiling with the head. 2 more deep breaths. Gentle, 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 and up we go. Turn to the left. Turn the head to the right. Turn the head to the left. Turn the head to the right. Okay, third and final round. But on this round, take your strap off. Pretend it's still there. Okay, so pretend it's still there. Here we go. Third round. Hands in prayer, Anjali Mudra, and Utkatasana. Can you go all the way down and touch the floor? Here we go. Bust open that imaginary strap. 5. And 4. Smiling always helps. 3. And 2. Strong legs. 1 more deep, deep, deep breath. And up we go. Beautiful. And take it away. So now we're going to take a block. We have low block, we have a medium, and we have a high. So there's different levels to the block. We're going to take the medium in between our thighs. So we want the block to be as wide as our hips. So we wouldn't have it like this because it goes outside of our hips. So having that medium right between the thighs, or the knees if you want. And you're standing up nice and tall. Now we still have the idea that the strap is on and we're still trying to bust open that strap. Can you feel how you're trying to open the legs into that strap without dropping the block? So I can't do it too much because I would lose my block. So how can I push open my strap and still hold on to that block? Let's go one more big breath here and then release. Okay, we're going to do that twice more. Utkatasana, sit down into the chair pose. Take your hands to the outside of the thighs where you had your strap. Push your legs into your hands at the same time as you're engaging and squeezing that block. Smile. To me, when I do this sort of work on the inner and outer lines, it feels like a big yawn from my body. It just feels like things just slip into place. What's it feel like for you? How would you describe it? 2. Good. And up we go. Are you getting it? Are you feeling what I'm talking about? It was what we were talking about a few weeks ago, where we're pushing in, but we're also pushing out. Okay, last round. Here we go. Utkatasana. Sit all the way down. Can you touch the floor? That's how low we want to be. Take your hands to the outer knees. Squeeze those hands, but also keep that block engaging. You're lining up those bones. And we'll take 5 breaths. We got that drop in the thigh bones and we're telescoping up. Where are you positioning on your feet? One more deep breath. And up we go. Beautiful. And reset. That is what we're talking about. Okay. So let's say that I was going to go into Warrior 2, which we are going to go into in just a moment, but I want to show it to you from this angle. So my knee wants to stay right above my second, third toe. Oftentimes people will have it do this. Do you see how my femur bone is going one way, but my shin didn't move? This is how we get too torquey in the knee that we get injured. So how do we learn to keep that knee right over that second, third toe? One of the things you can do is you can take your knee against a wall right now, if you have that in your setup, or imagine that you are. When I'm working with private clients, I'll stand in front of them and I'll push the block into their kneecap and they're pressing. So see if you can feel that sense that you're pressing right in the middle of that kneecap. We wouldn't want it to be wobbly because that's telling us that we're too much on the outer and not enough on the inner. So how do you use these pushing against the strap, pushing against the block to keep that nice and lined up? That's the first thing. Second thing, once we have that leg position happening, okay, and then I'm opening my chest is when it drops again. So we want to take maybe even the knee bend a little bit less as we start to move that torso open. How do we keep this hip open without losing it? So that's what you're playing with right now, okay? We're going to move into Warrior 2 pose. We'll bend the left knee right over that left ankle. And again, can you see your big toe? Can you see that left big toe? Is the knee right over the ankle? Do we have space behind that knee so it feels safe? Take your left hand to the outer left knee, push into that hand, push into your hand at the same time as imagine you're squeezing a block. So you're tracking that kneecap right on top. When you're ready, inhale, take your crown of your head up without losing that knee. Exhale, arms open nice and wide. I don't know why I'm holding a block. Here we go, nice and strong here. Breathe. Now, as you're playing with this, drop your hands and push that left thigh bone down as you're telescoping up. Keep noticing. You've got 4 more breaths, noticing what's happening on that left leg. Soft and easy. 2,
And beautiful. Straighten it up. Okay. Again, please bend that left knee. This time we're going to lift the left heel. We're going to lift the left toes. We're going to put the heel down and then sprinkle down the toes. 4 more times. Heel up, toes up, heel down, toes down. Heel up, toes up, heel down, sprinkle toes. Last one. Heel up, toes up, heel down, boom. Arms open nice and wide. What is it you need today? What is it you're doing here? I know that leg is on fire. You got this. Look at that left middle fingernail. 3 breaths. Keep watching that knee. You can feel it firing up. One more deep breath. Feel it, feel it, feel it. And beautiful. Exhale. Slowly turn that leg in and we'll flip that leg right leg out. Okay, so you're feeling it starting to bring it back into the shift. When you're ready, same thing. We're going to take our left knee to bend and we're going to look and see what's happening. Chances are it's very different on this side. We are very different. And so part of the mindful movements is just to notice. Can you see your big toe, that right big toe? Or does your knee block it? Just keep watching. Is there space behind your knee or are you squeezing and clenching there? Keep this nice space. I can fit my peace fingers, maybe even 3 fingers behind that knee. And then when I take my spine perpendicular to the floor, did I lose it? Okay, arms open nice and wide, nice and wide. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Just keep feeling that sense of the knee, the bones lining up so nicely. On this last exhale, take your right hand to the right thigh, push that thigh bone down and start to telescope the head to the sky, really getting long without losing that integrity. Beautiful. And come on out. Beautiful. Okay, here we go again, bending that right knee. Taking your hand to the outside of that right knee, push into that imaginary strap, push into that yoga block on the inner knee, keep that tracking, lift the heel, lift the toes, put the heel down, put the toes down. 4 more, heel up, toes up, smile, heel down, toes down, heel up, toes up, heel down, toes down, heel up, toes up, breathing, heel down, toes down. Beautiful. 3 breaths. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Squeeze the yoga block, imagining strap opening. Keep that tracking. 1 more deep breath and release. Close it up. And we'll walk, 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 walk. Our feet together. Look and see how the line of the legs are going, that the feet are hip distance apart. Hands in prayer or arms out, elbows to the ribs, and just feel what's happening. Breathing into the ribs. Coming back to your mantra. One more deep breath. All righty, and come back. We're going to do Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take your left foot, turn it out 90-degree angle, and then turn your other foot, your right foot in about 45. But double check you got both of these kneecaps looking at the second and third toe. Now on triangle pose, people typically will drop that inner rotation on the upper leg, but keep that shin level. So they're doing that torquey action. So you want to make sure that you're opening up that external rotation on that upper leg in order to keep the knee safe. But everybody's different. So we can't have like a checklist because everybody's structure is different. So you want to double check how your leg line is moving today or every day, okay? So here we are. So we want to have the outer left hip swiveling back. We don't even need a block because we're not going to go all the way down, but if you feel like you need one, grab it.
So the outer left hip is moving back. The kneecap is tracking. We're going to tilt over and then we're going to come up and bend the knee. Okay? Straighten the leg, tip it over, come on up and bend the knee. Just keep playing with that. How does that feel? Slow it down if you feel like you're losing integrity. Now, as you're playing, and I know I'm giving you a lot of cues right now, so if it's too much for you, stay on the earlier cue. But as you're playing with this, do you feel that you're dumping a lot of the weight in the left heel as you're going into your triangle pose? Don't forget to plug into that knee and to plug into that left big toe. That is one of the most common injuries in yoga, is to roll out into the pinky side of the foot. So as you're just hinging on this bend of the knee, straightening of the knee, double check that you're really plugging in that left big toe. Juicy joints. All right, one more round. Okay, both legs straight. Plug in that left big toe, arms open nice and wide. Take your hands to your hips, find that hinge. Put a soft bend in the knee if you feel any pain in the back of the knee. We want to keep those knees, the backs of the knees, very open here, and just hold. Let's talk about it. You've got that left big toe plugging in. You're lining up the shin and the femur bone so that that kneecap is sitting right on top. You're pushing into that outer strap and that inner block. Very fired up. 2 more deep breaths. One more. And that's it. Come on out. Close the hip. Notice that we're closing from that top of the hip, and we're going to open the right hip. Look and see what's going on. Hello, right leg. Okay, same thing. We're going to bend and tilt and come up and straighten, just turning it on. Gary Crafso, who teaches Vinny Yoga, it's a therapeutic style of yoga. He teaches about this repetition. You sort of do this over and over with the body, letting it know what's coming. And if you're trying to use therapy, yoga as therapy, or you're older, or you have an injury, it's a nice way to sort of let the body know what's coming. I've been doing it for 20 years. I just love this style. Just in and out. Just letting the body know what's happening. So that knee is right over the toe. Again, are we finding that we're leaning into the heel part of the foot? We got to plug in that right big toe. Another 3 or 4. The body is so smart that when we get out of the mind and we just let the body understand what's happening, we don't have to be as aggressive. The body understands what's happening. So giving it a chance to practice it and to learn it so that when we're ready, which we are right now, arms open nice and wide, hands on your hips, here we are. We're going to take ourselves over, really plugging in that right big toe. And again, if you're feeling strain in the Achilles or you're feeling too much weight in your heel, then put a soft bend in the knee. Line up them bones, them beef bones. Whatever feels good to you, but really feeling the tracking on that knee today. 2 more deep breaths. How's that? Beautiful. Come on up, and we're going to close that hip too. Remember to close it from the very top of the hip, and we're gently going to walk, 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 walk. Feet hip distance apart, elbows towards our ribs, palms facing up. And just check and see how your bones are lining up.
how you're marking the ground with your feet. Are you leaning into the heels here? Are you locking the knees? Put a softness there. Find the front parts of the feet. All right, let's head to the floor now. Inhale, reach the arms up, nice and easy, bending through the knees. Exhale, forward fold.
Starting to slow things down now. Just letting yourself hang. Take your hands to the outer legs, pushing into the hands as if it's the strap, and squeezing that yoga block, that imaginary yoga block between the knees, keeping the tracking of those legs. 2 more deep breaths. What do you need today? Get it back in your mind. And gently now, step back to down dog for some of you, or to hands and knees for some of you. And we're going to make our way to our back on our bottom, and then to our back. We're going to, before we get down there, we're going to need 2 blocks on the outside of our hips. So I'm going to do medium level. Some of you may find tall level best. Okay. We're going to, having a pillow, then I think you should get one. Okay. Our back on both shoulders, and our feet and our knees are hip distance apart. So the outside interlace the fingers behind that right inner behind the right thigh, and we're going to straighten and bend and straighten and bend. If you would like to open that left knee and just have that leg straight, feel free to do so. Straighten and bend. If you're really crackly here on the knee, maybe do less. It's not dangerous. It's just the cartilage, and it is telling you there's a little bit of deterioration. So just take it easy there. It's not dangerous, but I wouldn't say push against it either. 2 more. Okay. Strong belly. Take your hands on the kneecaps, toes towards the kneecap, hands on the kneecaps, and you're going to inhale. Exhale, push the knees away where your elbows are straight, but you still have the hands on the kneecaps. Exhale in, stay in, big inhale. Exhale, push away. We still have against the strap and we're squeezing into the block. Exhale, in, stay in, big inhale. Exhale, push away. Stay out, inhale. And in. How's your tongue? Muscles around your eyes. We're only on exhale. Hold back. You want to play loss of integrity in the knees when that happens. But if you want to idea what's different about keeping the feet, the toes plugged in towards the knees, Just keep melting. Come on back. Let's back over and again, those knees right over the muscle. We're gonna bend the knees and and feel the stretch. Just that.
I've completely lost the audio. I don't know if anyone else has.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
That's good now.
Okay. Keep going. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. Just noticing. 3. And 2. What's it feeling like as you're moving? 1 more. And beautiful. Squeeze those legs in, 1 foot at a time to the floor. Taking your right ankle on the left thigh here, double check that you're still keeping this leg open by turning the toes to the kneecap. So as soon as we start to open that hinge is when we start to torque that inner knee. Double check that you've got those toes fired up. Stay here and enjoy that, or some of you will bring in both legs, maybe even wrapping around that left thigh as you reach the right arm between the legs. Some of you can grab the toes. So you're doing a nice big opening on that right hip at the same time as you are keeping the legs fired up, the toes fired up. Deep, deep breaths. Strong core, zip it up as you're putting that left foot back on the floor, both feet back on the floor, and just take a moment here to windshield wiper side to side. Wash it away. And come back to your mantra. Let's pause here and bring ourselves back to that peaceful calm. And switcheroo. Left leg comes up, left ankle on the right thigh. Double check that you've got the ankle with integrity so that we keep that knee nice and safe. Stay here and enjoy that, or bringing your right thigh in, interlace around the thigh, or some of you can grab those toes and keep that big external rotation on the hip without losing that knee. Whatever feels nice here for you. Recreating the mantra, what brings you here today? Linking up with others. 2 more big breaths. Keep melting the back muscles. Actually, let's go 3 more breaths so that we're even. 3 more big breaths. Soft and easy, gentle and kind. Alrighty, and taking that leg down, both feet to the floor, and wash it side to side. All right, so we have these blocks on the outsides of our bodies. We're going to challenge ourselves, and this is a tricky one, so I want you to be careful here.
What we're going to do is we have the blocks right outside the hips, okay? We're going to take the right leg up, extend that leg to the ceiling, and we're going to drop the leg out. We need to put the block on the shelf of this, I'm sorry, the leg on the shelf that is the block, okay? Some of you might extend the other leg out, so it's a deep hip opener. If you decide that you need to have it on a lower level, feel free. What our challenge is, though, is that we're trying to rotate the leg so that the heel and the toe are equally coming down. We're not turning the toes down first, and we're not turning the heel down first. We're trying to make it nice and level so it's coming down equally. And so that block is there to serve you if you want, okay? We're going to be holding here for a bit. So you could use your arm to help support it if you need to. Deep inhale. Now, imagine that from the arch of the foot to the pelvic floor is short. From the arch of the foot to the pelvic floor is short. From the outer hip to the outer pinky toe is long. So we could think of that as being plugged in. You could even imagine someone's pressing on that foot, plugging your hip back into its socket. 2 more deep breaths. Keeping the line of the leg that we've been working with all class. Heel and toe are equally coming to the floor. All right, scoop the leg up, bring it back. Both feet to the floor, knees bent, pause. And we'll switch. Opposite leg up. And extend it out. Put the block somewhere underneath it that it feels very supported. And again, maybe you'll even hold your leg on your arm if that needs even more support. You want to be able to see if you can surrender in this spot. Are you bringing your toes down first or your heel down first? See if you can make it come down straight down. Another 8 breaths. Deep breaths. Two or three more deep breaths. I hope the mic's okay now. Okay, now you're going to come back to your center, and we're going to gently roll off, and come to sit up. Take your time. Okay, yogi's choice. If you would like to take your Shavasana in Baddha Konasana, you're going to take a big loop in the strap over your head, bring it very, very low to the back, and then just scoop your legs inside of it. So notice that I'm putting it on the inner leg. It's going straight through. That's a really nice way to open up that lower back at the same time as you're opening up those hips, and you're playing with that line that we're talking about of the knee, because you want to be pressing those big toes together. So again, over your head like you're putting on a shirt. If you have a strap that's long enough, it's going to go right at the base, and then you're going to go over through the legs and then put those feet in, and you go back to your back. I'm not going to do that because I think my mic's going out today. Or if you'd like, you can take your blocks, place them underneath your legs so that you have a soft bend in the knees, and come on down to your back that way. So finding a position that feels really, really relaxing to you. Take your time to get there.
Take your time. About 5 more breaths as you're settling into your final position here. And finding a place of stillness, gently close your eyes. Bring your attention to your nostrils, to your nose, and feel how you're bringing air in equally, and feel how the air is coming out equally, or as best you can. Inhale that cool air in, and exhale that warm air out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, warm air out. Again, inhale and exhale. This time, see if you could take the breath, the attention down to your toes. Inhale from your nose to your toes. Exhale from your toes to your nose. All the way down. Inhale, flossing from your nose to your toes. Exhale from your toes to your nose. Seeing if you can come up with a longer pattern now. Inhale, down. Through the hips, through the knees, through the ankles, through the toes. And back up through the ankles, through the knees, through the hips, through the nose. 3 more. So as you allow the tongue to soften and the eyes to relax, and even the muscles around the eyes, the muscles around the scalp, the neck, the shoulders, as you find yourself really melting, let go of the breathing technique. And we're going to go back to this togetherness, this idea that we are just beings being now. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to think about, there's nothing to organize, there's nothing to prepare. I'm just going to drop here on the mat, just allowing ourselves to feel connected, not just to one another, but to even ourselves, our body, physical, our breathing, our spirit, our instinct, our primal, our bliss. So letting all the different parts of you, the ankle bone, the shoulder bone, the breath body, the irritable bowel, like all of you coming together, integrating together. Oneness. And as soon as your mind starts to go, you go back into separateness. And we're not separate. We are one. Allowing yourself to grow heavy on the mat. Start to watch your body being breathed. Watch your body being breathed with your life, with your force, with your chi, with your prana, with your essence. Watch yourself alive. Letting go here. Wholeness, letting go. Oneness, letting go. Togetherness. And as always, may we sit in the spirit of gratitude, not just when things are easy, not just when things are going our way, but also when things are crumbling or challenging or frustrating. Can we be grateful for these scratchier lessons too, as it shows us more and more of who we are? Enjoy who you are right now. Namaste. Take 5 minutes if you can. May it be of benefit.